games you knew you had to get 2 points. What was your mentality going in?
That was a long time ago. That's tough for me to remember. I would hope that it's, that I did, and hopefully our guys are, just going out and doing what they do best. Everyone has a role and things that they do well in a game, and whether you're physical or whether you're a defender or offensive player, play with speed, quickness, whatever it is. Hopefully everyone's focused on what they do well and just trying to do that as best they can.
Roster, we saw some guys missing today. Can you give us an update?
Bull, just maintenance. O'Coin was maintenance. We're expecting both of those guys to play. Nikitin Anisimov and Matty Calvert will not be making the trip with us.
Do you yell at your TV when you sit here and watch?
No, I'm not at that stage yet in my life where I'm yelling at the TV. Usually what I do is I just turn it off. That's my frustration level, anger level, is just turning the TV off. I was watching last night, and my kids were watching too, and there were a couple times I had to turn it off and leave the room. And the first game, LA Minnesota was a great game. Minnesota played great, very good hockey game, and then the late one was a good game as well. And in a span of 30 seconds, Dallas played great. Their goaltender was terrific. In a span of 30 seconds, they put in about 55 minutes, 54 minutes of good hard work, and in the span of 30 seconds, it just completely shifted.
I know these few days off after that swing of the road trip is valuable, but are you itching to get? You can't control what's going on when you're sitting there watching it. You got to be itching to get on the ice and play, and I assume the guys in the room too.
I think hockey players and coaches, we're all kind of creatures of habit and routines, and this season has been nothing but just routines, meaning just playing games. There hasn't been a lot of practice time, and when you do get these extended periods of time where you aren't playing games, it's I don't want to say it's difficult. It's good because you're recharging the batteries, but it's just you're used to certain things. You have 2 days off, and you're thinking you have a game that night, or you should be doing something instead of just sitting at home. And then the other frustrating part about it is, as you idle and not doing anything, teams are picking up points. So you're constantly dropping in the standings because it's always Western Conference teams playing against Western Conference teams. So somebody's always getting points on every given night.
Do you, with only 5 guys, I know you said, Adrian, just maintenance. Do you maybe call somebody up to take to Dallas?
No, not right now. We're anticipating everyone being fine. There's no illnesses going around. I think at this stage of the season, we talked about guys playing on adrenaline, and guys are and we're banged up. We're banged up, and just like I'm sure a lot of teams are. And this is the time of the year that you want to play, you want to be a part of it, and injuries don't seem as bad right now. The aches and pains seem to go away come game time.
Is this the situation you would rather be in, knowing that if you win both, no matter what happens, you did what you had to do, and the outcome is what it is? Or do you not even think of it that way? If you win your next 2,
my whole goal going into this game tomorrow is just play the best hockey game that we can play. If you play your best hockey game and you come out on the short end, that's sometimes the way that it works. That's my focus, and I believe that if we go out and play our best hockey and do the right things over a 60-minute period, that again the result will take care of itself. And just focus on doing that. Don't focus on the end result. Focus on all the steps throughout the process.
Michael Layton, is this a case where obviously you worry about something happening to Bob, but is he a guy with enough experience, professionalism, that maybe you don't worry as much with him as your backup right now?
I'm not worried about Michael. He's played in some big games in his career, and he's proven that he can play at this level and be a good goaltender at this level. So there's no worries, and right now he's being a great teammate, a great support staff for Bobrovsky, who's playing. And that's what he has to do. Great attitude, comes in and works every day, days off, he's out and he's working hard, and he's preparing himself. And you never know. I mean, if something happens and he has to go in, he's keeping himself ready.
Are there certain things that goalies, maybe he changes to, obviously he's not getting any game time, to keep himself game sharp? Anything that Ian maybe changes up in the routine with him to kind of maybe increase his sharpness without getting that game time?
Well, Ian's taken him out on the ice and done a little bit extra, but he's done that with Bob too. So I don't think the routine has changed. It's probably a question for Michael and how he views it and the things that he's done as he changed his routine. At this level, at this stage, one of the things that most of the guys have done is they understand the professionalism of it, and they know how they need to take care of themselves, and they know how to prepare themselves. So if the door does open up, that they're ready to play.
Todd, you've been banged up on the back line, but the guy that stood out for me anyway, Federtuden on the road trip, he was +6, 2 goals, 2 assists. Is he playing his best hockey for you right now?
He's playing really well right now. It starts with our defense, and he's a guy who logs a lot of minutes, plays in all situations, end of the game, protecting a lead. He's been real solid for us, real solid. And that's probably the best way to say it. He's not flash. There's no flash in his game. He's not going to pick the puck up and go coast to coast with it and beat guys, but he uses his body really well. He uses his strength really well to shield the puck, or he's elusive as far as getting guys on the wrong side and then spinning and making a play, and he makes it look easy. And those are tough plays, doing it at high speed. And when you aren't noticed as much in a game, that, especially as a defenseman, that's usually a really good thing, because you're just going about your business and moving the puck, and you aren't giving up chances, you aren't getting beat. And Toots has been a rock for us back there. Probably the last half of this season, he's been really good.